Hi, I'm Catherine Evans from Wiki-ed. In this video, we're going to look a little more closely at reading documents with Read and Write. We are going to look at the tools which you have available for listening to your documents, plus the screen masking option, which might help a number of you who suffer from visual stress. At its very most basic level, I can click into the document and I can press play and it will be read out by whichever voice has been set.
When you are reading a document, different font affects your reading. On screens, it is...
I've paused it because straight away I realised it said different font effects, so it should be different fonts. I changed this in the last video and I didn't do it right. Different fonts affect your reading. So what you should do is I paused that. When I unpause it, it's going to play from the same place. But if I rewind it, I can go back to the beginning of the document.
Different fonts affect your reading.
And I've stopped it. I've stopped it this time. So I've reread that sentence and now it sounds fine. And because I've stopped, even though I stopped after it said on screens, when I press play again.
On screens, it is believed that the straight fonts such as Arial...
It goes back to the beginning of the sentence. And this time I've actually not pressed stop, I've pressed pause, which is why play isn't available. And it's paused on the word Arial. And I'm going to press pause again.
Arial are clearer and easier to read the serif fonts like...
And it starts reading from where I paused the document. So that's your basic use of these play commands. If we go into the settings, which we cover in a different video, but we don't look at the speech settings. So we'll go into show more settings and we're going to go straight down to speech. You'll see the first thing that we have here is that we can change the voice, and your trainer may have helped you to download some more voices. We had Serena or Kate or Emily. You can try Daniel.
This is your new voice. Is it okay?
I tend to find he sounds like a robot, and I've actually downloaded this voice, Australian Lee. And if I press test voice.
This is your new voice. Is it okay?
I like that.
Voice. Is it okay?
I like Lee. You can change the speed, but this is not the best way to do it. As you can see here, it says use arrow keys to change speed. Changing this slide up makes a massive difference, as you can hear.
This is your new voice. Is it okay?
I'm just going to put that right back to 50. You can also add a pause between words. So this is back on normal.
This is your new voice. Is it okay? This is your new voice. Is it okay?
But I can add a word pause all the way up to 1 second, but I'm going to stick it in the middle just so you see what it's like.
This is your new voice. Is it okay?
Most people would find that quite irritating. You can also change the pitch. So if you have an issue with your hearing and a particular problem with certain pitches, you can make the voice higher or lower. Just going to turn Lee up a bit higher.
This is your new voice. Is it okay?
And then I'm just going to put him back to normal again. There are the options in here to help when the word is not said correctly. And this is how you do this. You can actually change a word. So if you listen to equatio, originally it would be read as equatio. And if you press how they've programmed it in, equatio is what I said in the first place. And they've spelled it phonetically. As an example, if you click add, a good one to add is the Irish word, Irish name, Siobhan. And let's listen.
Siobhan.
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 Now he's saying it a lot more correctly. So if I put that in from now on, if I use the name Siobhan, instead of hearing, I'll hear. So I've spelled it out. The auto read for speak as I type is something that's more for the visually impaired user. And as is screen reading, you can have it read everything on the screen rather than just the text. The standard setting is to read by sentence, and I wouldn't recommend changing that. And continuous reading means that when it finishes the sentence, it just carries on. Read the web, you can toggle on and off with the settings in the corner. You'll see that when we had it, we had this blue and yellow highlighting. So you can actually have the highlighting on or off. So I'm going to leave the highlighting on, and it's set for blue and yellow, but you can change the colours. I don't find any of them particularly more useful, so I'm just going to leave it on blue on yellow. The remaining options are for talk and type, which is about using the built-in Windows dictation with your work. So we're not going to really look at those. So if you would close it down, you'll see that we've now got our settings set up for reading, and I'm going to show you now about changing the speed. So as Lee reads it out,
reading a document, different fonts affect your reading. On screen.
so as I use my up and down arrow
Screens.
keys,
It is believed that
I can change the speed that Lee reads at.
the straight fonts such as Arial
I'm just going to put him back to normal
clearer and
and
easier
stop
to read
that.
this.
So those are your main uses of those particular tools for reading. We're going to cover reading the internet in another video.
I'm Catherine Evans from Wiki-ed. Please subscribe if you want to see more videos on assistive technology, and if you want to find me on social media, search for Wiki-ed Essex.